When they first started off with this conversation is, oh, we live in a food desert. Okay, I was probably the only one that didn't understand that, because I'm like, yeah, the desert is full of food.
Food insecurity is about basic nutrients and calories, but it's also making sure that you have enough culturally appropriate foods and even nutritionally appropriate foods.
Knowing that we have such abundance within the city of Phoenix, such abundance in our world, yet there are children and seniors going hungry every day is just not acceptable.
It's not just the right of the rich to have fresh vegetables. It is a right of all human beings to be able to exercise self-determination in the type of diet, nutrition, and health that they have through food sovereignty.
In the city of Phoenix, we did subtract one food desert. So we started with 43 and now we're down to 42.
Back in the reservation days when it first started out, in order to keep the Apache people on the reservation, they took away their firearms and their bows. They said, you're no longer a hunting society, you're going to be farmers. Well, we weren't good farmers, we didn't know, and we weren't taught right, so ultimately the crops failed.
There's one grocery store on the whole 1.8 million acre reservation.
We're very, I say, underserved, underprivileged communities where our voice really don't mean anything. That tells you what a country thinks of us as Native American. In the 1960s, where you see all these fields, they sprayed Agent Orange here. They sprayed it so it can kill the trees, the salt cedar.
There's a river here called the San Carlos River. That was our playground. And we heard a big roar of engines. And I wondered what it was. And I looked up and there was these planes. They were dropping things.
My older cousin would run under those planes like this as it's spraying because they thought it was cool.
And it got all over us, I remember that. And when it hit the river, it left a film on the river. And we didn't know what it was.
But that discouraged a lot of people from collecting the wild food or drying out their produce, and they became more like, oh, we need to buy our food because those food are not safe.
The people that lived there permanently had an inordinate amount of cancerous types of diseases, even to this day.
It's an unspoken thing. It's one of the things taboo. You don't talk about it. It's not real.
I know we can't say that's the direct cause, but, you know, we never know.
It did uproot everybody's way of life before Agent Orange was sprayed.
The current American food system is often called the SAD diet. So by addressing our food security, we can create a happier, healthier nation. For a lot of indigenous and traditional cultures, food is medicine. That's not just a metaphor.
I think if we can help just provide like this baseline of like healthy foods, it brings a pathway for other things to open up. Now, can we move on to this other problem of like the bigger picture, like the alcoholism, addiction, abuse, things like that?
I am in my 23rd year this June in sobriety, and I'm happier than I've ever been, mostly by learning our traditional knowledge and who I am as a beautiful Apache woman. Those plants is what heal me, not modern medicine. What helped me is this here.
I also got to see what real healing looks like when you're eating real food, because the mother of the sons that I was really close with, she had rheumatoid arthritis. And then once they started transitioning to this regenerative agriculture thing, she was able to start walking again. And that really woke me up. That made me really believe in healthy food and nutrient-dense food in a way that I'd never really thought of before.
Not everybody is in healthcare to care. There is medicine in the earth, and we can just start choosing to know more about it, educating ourselves about it, or we can continue to turn a blind eye to it.
So this is our garden at NDC. We have about 3 acres of garden space. This year, our plan is to really focus heavily on the traditional crops. That's what the community wants. And then all this food we try to get into the community through food distributions, get it into more homes and to families, just as much as we can.
Eric's teaching our people how to plant, how to grow, and that's what we need.
I'm seeing it hands-on, this situation here at Spaces of Opportunity. This is a 20-acre farm, and it has probably over hundreds of farmers and growers out here. Every year we till the soil, we grow as much food as we can. We distribute it in various ways. It's so important because we all want life to be here, and in that we have to create that for each other.
I think it's really important that people can realize that they have that power in them to reconnect.
And it's not just about creating it with programs, but it's also creating it with the motivation of our community to get up and let's get to remembering what vitality of life really is. It only takes everyone to grow something, and then we empower ourselves.
And what greater reason to put time and effort and energy into something than being able to feed people and to bring hope to others.
That's what all these people do. Yeah, they're growing consumables and foods and different plant species for the people to eat. But you know what they're growing more? They're planting the seeds of hope.